All right, so time. Um, a lot of times we forget that time is there because we don't see it, right? Unless you are surrounded by clocks, or you're always looking at your watch, you know what you're actually looking at. You're not gonna mind time. You're not gonna pay attention. You're not gonna value time like you should.
Mm.
So you have to be mindful that when you wake up, you're already consuming limited time that you're not gonna get back. The moment you wake up in the morning, what are you doing with that time? So
Mm.
I want to make sure that you understand the value of time. You wake up in the morning, you're already running something that you're not getting back. What are you doing with that time? What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing for your family? What are you doing for your God? What are you doing for just to bring value to the world with that time? Because if you're not being of value to the world, like, are you even living? Like, or are you just consuming oxygen? Are you just being a taker and not a giver? Are you consuming and not giving back? Are you consuming and not producing? So what is your perspective of time? You're not gonna get time back. Now, when you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you do? Well, that is a very important question because when you wake up in the morning is when you have the most energy. And you might not feel like it at the beginning, but it's when your brain has the most resources to work with in the morning. It's just waking up from hopefully a good night's sleep. So right now it has all the cognitive power to actually start uh, uh, crunching the data, to start working on that potential that it has just stored up in there. So just an example of myself. It doesn't have to be something that you have to do, but just an example of how I take care of my time, because I think examples are going to work the best here. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I go and drink water. I drink about 12 ounces of water. They say you should drink about 20 ounces, but in the morning when you drink water, it kind of feels a little weird. So I kind of just do 12 ounces, and I take my vitamin B12 and my omega-3 pill. Um, Once I do that, then I turn on the coffee. Um, I have two things that I read first thing in the morning. At this point, I'm already activating my brain with some water, some caffeine. What I do now is I read my Bible. I have the 1 year reading plan, and I'm almost halfway through the Bible because we're obviously
Mm.
halfway through the year. And I have a devotional. So besides reading the Bible, I have a devotional that has a different structure and explains a different aspect of the Bible. It's on a different level. It helps me understand things a little better. So from the moment I begin with, I start learning. When I'm reading my Bible, the first thought that I have as I open my Bible is of gratitude. Gratitude is important because it's a positive thought. It creates
Mm.
positive energy. It creates positive vibrations, if you want to put it that way. I'm not going to ignore the fact that our brain is a matter that works through electromagnetic impulses. And because of that, there's vibrations associated with that magnetism that we do create. Thoughts are nothing more than those electric impulses going back and forth. So you have to be mindful of that and nurture those with positive thoughts. Positive thoughts, we know from science and we know from physics that atoms, which are what creates everything, all the matter around us, and it's in everything, are formed with negative, positive, and neutrons. So there's three types of energy that we have to be mindful of. And if you wake up first thing in the morning already cursing the gods of Monday, then you're gonna have a very bad day.
Yeah.
Your your attitude is already negative. You're already exerting a negative energy. You're already producing a negative energy that's gonna give you negative outcomes. But if you when you wake up and your first thought is gratitude, then you're gonna start producing positive thoughts and positive energy that are going to help you get positive outcomes for your day. Now, it's not just about having that thought of gratitude. What happens when you read positive things, In my case, the Bible. Well, not so much when they start killing people and all that stuff. But I'm past that stuff. So now I'm in the positive things. I just started Proverbs, so you start to take the positive things and you start to create a positive attitude and a positive behavior. Then you start to really get a positive worldview. Um, so now that do that, and I still haven't checked my phone. I don't know if you guys have paid attention. So far in my
Yeah.
morning, I have not touched my phone.
Yeah.
I don't want that negativity in my life first thing in the morning.
Mm.
So after I do my devotional, what I go do now, because it's about 30 or 45 minutes into the day, and because I know my nutrition schedule, my last meal was at around 6 or 6:30. It's about that time for breakfast. I go make myself some breakfast. I try to put in at least 30 grams of protein into my first meal of the day. Protein and carbs, the right type of carbs are important because it gives you instant fuel and prolonged fuel. And then after I do that, I go take care of, my body business, and then I get to work. It's very important to understand that our time is limited, because now you have to focus on not just busy work, but the right type of work. I know some of us don't really have an option, and we have to kind of just do whatever our job needs us to do. But there's things that you can do to benefit yourself throughout the day. Now, at this point, when I start working, I usually turn on a podcast. I turn on something to get my brain thinking in the background. In this case, now that I'm listening to the audiobook, then I can put the audiobook on play while I'm doing other things. I start to go through the important tasks. I operate a lot through email. So my work email, I go through the most important things that I have to do first. If I don't have anything to do, then I start working on things that are going to move the needle for myself or for my household. This past week, I had been working on building up my website. So what I did when I didn't have job work, I was doing business work, but I was never doing just busy work. So always looking at things that move the needle forward in whatever your goal is. If you don't know what you're working towards, then you're just gonna, like the book says that we're reading, then you're just gonna be like some sort of drifter. And when you don't tell life what to do, then trust me, life will tell you what to do. And you don't want that, especially if you start off your day in a negative manner. So, but at this point, I haven't checked social media. I start checking social media um, just quickly, like around 10, which is about the same time I take my break. Now, this past week, because of what's happening, I really didn't check anything until maybe like noon. And it was kind of just quick checks on Facebook just to make sure that there wasn't any checks by family. Mostly my Facebook is just people that I've actually met in person and my family. Um, I really don't, I'm really not that mindful of what I have going on Instagram. Instagram is kind of just like my lifestyle type of um, portrait. I really don't post too much like on the stories and all that stuff. And I just got my Twitter back, and I really don't know how that works. And according to Twitter, I've had that account since 2012, and I'm probably not going to figure out how Twitter works. And I really don't care at this point.
Hashtags, baby,
Yeah.
hashtags.
But what I notice for my own self gain is that Instagram is where I want. I mean, Instagram, LinkedIn is where I want to be. So I'm gonna start tinkering with LinkedIn a little bit more, just because of my goal. It's gonna require probably to be more in LinkedIn than anywhere else. So that type of mentality when it comes to social media stuff is called being on the producing side of social media, not on the consuming side of social media. If your mindset with social media is about consumption, you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to waste a lot of time scrolling. If you don't have anything to read when you go take a poop, by all means, then social media is okay. But even those 20, 30, 40 minutes that you spend in the toilet, please just take a book with you. At least you get 10 to 20 pages down. And if you do that, I was looking at the math. If you do about 20, 25 pages a day, that's about 3 to 4 books a month. That's gonna put you ahead of a lot of people at the end of the year to be reading between an average of 35 books, which is what I think I did 34 books last year. I did 34 books last year, and I definitely remember me reading in the toilet. So you think it's funny, but it's actually very productive.
No, it is. It
It's
is.
a time where nobody is bugging you for the most part. It's a
Mhm.
time where you can actually focus on one thing while the other is taking care of itself for the most part. And if not, then you probably should eat more fiber. But just being mindful of your time and how you're using your time. Even if you're at school, I remember when I was in college, I had a full stack schedule in college. Only 1 year out of the 5 years, I was out of work. I wasn't really working, but that's because I was trying to bring up my grades because I was working so much and because I wasn't paying too much attention in school. So what I
Mhm.
did when I wasn't working and going to school, when I was just focusing on school, was I took five 5 credit class, which is considered a tough class, I guess. Um, so I had 18 credits, I think, and then and because of those, one of those classes was a 5 credit class, but I just focused on getting an A in that 5 credit class, and I took another 5 credit class in the next semester. Just by doing the numbers, I brought my GPA up by focusing on getting an A on 2 semesters on a 5.0 class, and that helped me eventually graduate with a GPA higher than a 3.0, which is already good enough if you're in college. I think my average was 3.1 or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while. But um, what what schedule I was following in college, maybe it's not the same schedule that I'm following nowadays, but the discipline definitely has to be the same. Because if you don't use your time correctly, if you don't allocate your time, you're gonna waste your time and you're not gonna know what you did with that time. The same principle applies with money. If you want to be wealthy, you have to be wise in how to use your money. If you want to be wealthy in money, you have to be wise in how you invest your money. If you want to be, if you want to, if you want to have valuable time, if you want to be wealthy in time, as you grow older, you have to make sure that you're using the time that you have now to invest in things that are gonna make you a better person. So if you are focused on trading time for money, the only way that you're gonna make more money is by sacrificing more time. But if you focus yourself in creating more value with your time, then you are gonna make more money with less time because your time is going to be more valuable. But if you don't know how to create value with the limited amount of time that you have, then you're gonna have to start learning that. If you don't, and if because if you don't, then you're just gonna keep trading time for money until you retire or you die, whatever happens first. If you don't know how to trade time for value, then you use the limited time you have to learn how to do that. That should be your first goal. Even if you're in school, maybe if you're at work, you still have enough time. Say you have to be at the office and you can't do anything else from 8 to 5 when you clock out. A lot of times, what happens is that you leave work stressed and tired, and you think that's enough, that's good enough. You don't do anything else. You go home, you turn on whatever streaming service that you have, or you turn on the TV, you take your brain out and you disconnect. Wrong, 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 wrong. Even if your parents did it, even if everybody else is doing it, it doesn't mean that it's right. It's wrong.
Mhm.
That is the wrong, wrong, wrong way to live. That is that is how you die without purpose. That is how you die without making an impact. That is how you die without matter, like without mattering to anybody. And if you do that and you don't pay attention to your family, that's how you die without anybody saying anything impactful at your funeral.
mm,
And I'm sorry, but you have to listen to this truth, because
mm,
if you're just going to work and going back home and not doing anything else with your life, if your only desire is to get promoted at work, let me tell you something. Whenever the company has to get rid of somebody, they're gonna get rid of you. And if you've been at work for 20 years, you're gonna be up there targeted with the first people they want to lay off, because they can hire somebody younger, stronger, faster, more adept to do the job you're doing for less. Corporate America doesn't care about its employees. Corporate America cares about profits. If you're
mm,
working for corporate America, that's what you can expect. You can always expect corporate America to look out after its shareholders and after its profits. That is their bottom line. If there's an employee that's costing them too much money and they can hire somebody else that's going to cost them less, as a manager, I will look at how to get rid of you. I'm sorry. And that is just a fact. And if you're only relying in that type of income, and if you're not doing anything else to grow more skills after work, that's how you just kill your whole household income. That's how you go broke and bankrupt. That's how you stay poor. And if you don't know how to use your money, it's a reflection of you not knowing how to use your time. How to invest your time is as valuable as knowing how to invest your money. Invest your time is important, because time, you're not going to get it back. Money, you can always get it back. There's
mm.
always ways to get more money. There's always ways to make more money. Money is made. Money is made because of your thoughts. Money is created by you, by your actions. And you can always create money because you can always create new ways of making money. If you run single-minded, fixed mentality, then you're not going to be able to create more money. If you have a growth mindset, then you're always going to find new ways to create more money. And nowadays, it's so much easier because everybody is connected and everybody has a cell phone with internet connection. You can look up so many different ways of how to get started. And the only problem is that there's a lot of information out there. This is why you have to be mindful of your time, because if you don't know how to spend your time, if you don't have that definite purpose, like the book that we're reading talks about, then you're just gonna drift away. You might as well be spending time watching Netflix if you're just wasting your time looking at shiny objects online. You have to have a purpose. I'm going back to learning how to create value instead of how to exchange time for value instead of time for money. You have to find that one way that you want to be able to do that. There's so many options, but there's only one option that you're gonna like. Like I was talking with Gavin on a one-on-one not too long ago. I put money in drop shipping because I wanted to know a little bit more about that. I learned how to create blogs. I learned how to do affiliate marketing. I learned how to create client lists, like email marketing stuff. So many things. At the end of the day, I figured out what I actually want to do that I like, and I regret the fact that I spent time researching, and then at the same time I don't, because I learned what I actually wanted to focus my effort on. And that's how you start to create value, because you're absorbing so much time, and you're learning a lot of things that other people don't have time to learn, that at the end of the day you're going to be able to charge $1,000 an hour for something that took you 1,000 hours to learn. And that's how you start to create value for time, and not change your time for money.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of your behavior. From the moment you wake up, how are you already creating value for your time? Are you giving your time away to senseless distractions, to negative energy? Or are you trying to focus your limited time? You're trying to focus your limited time to things that are going to bring a lot of value to yourself and to your family and to your future. So next time you wake up in the morning, think, how are you going to create value with your limited time? What is busy work and what is not? What's
Yeah.
actually going to help you move the needle and create a bigger impact for your family, for your life purpose, and what is not? And start to prioritize how to spend your time. At the same time as prioritizing how to spend your money. Is $20 spent on socks better than $20 spent on an ETF, for example?
Yeah.
Do you really need those socks, or is it just something fancy socks? Or I mean, it's just an example.
Most of the things are luxury. Nobody really needs anything other than food.
That's, I mean, you cover your four walls, you know, your food, your rent, your utilities, and your transportation, and everything else is just basically a luxury.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all. We just need to take care of our four walls of our household, and everything else is just a luxury.
What do you recommend for? Because I'm gonna try your method, because this is what I do in the morning. I wake up, brush my teeth, obviously the normal stuff, right? But then there's been days where I get stuck in the cycle where I show up to work and I literally just sit there and I'll stare at a screen. Like after I've done the minor little tasks that I have to do, I sit there and I just don't know what to do, you know? And then I know there's stuff I could be doing, like, because it's in the back of my mind, you know? Hey, you need to be productive, you need to find something. But I just can't find, like you said, I can't move the needle. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like something's weighing me down, but I have no idea what it is. And I can't figure it out sometimes. Might be a personal issue, but
that's just being confused.
Yeah.
When there's confusion, there's friction for you to start moving the needle. You don't know where to start. You don't have clarity in how to start. If you really want a recommendation, is to get a planner.
Yeah.
A
well,
planner.
I have that. I do the task. I do the tasks.
But you need a planner that's gonna help you prioritize your tasks the day before. What you also might want to start doing is carrying a notepad.
Yeah.
Like a little pocket notepad. And if something comes to your mind that you need to do, write it down. If you're saying that you feel like you have things to do but you can't remember, it's probably because you should have been writing things down.
Yeah.
I have here, show you my desk on my other side. So I have my notepad. I have my planner.
Moleskine. What brand is that? The Moleskine one? Moleskine. What's that brand?
I'm actually upgrading my did the video go? No. I'm actually testing this out. This is the Lion Planner.
From Amazon or where?
Yeah, from Amazon.
I've seen those, and they put like a lion or they put elephant. They put different animals.
I know. I'm trying the lion one.
It's all the same one.
I kind of like it. I think it's missing something for myself. But as you can see, I have time blocks here.
Yeah.
So I have time blocks. I chunk my time. Obviously, during this time, I'm sleeping. And then during this time, since I'm at home, I do things at home here. Let me see if I have an example of when I was at work. This one. See with this one how has devotional, Bible, work, lunchtime, and then this one has my workout right here.
Yeah.
So I have my time sketched out, and then I have my month planned out. I'm not up to date on May, but
yeah,
April.
Yeah.
I have my personal goals. I have my physical goals, my family goals. I was working on getting the house. I got my work goals. I started a new job at EDD, and then I quit 30 days later because it was terrible.
Oh yeah, Alex told me you quit.
And then I have my notes and ideas for the month. Yep. And then I actually do watch mentorship videos each morning. So if you go into my daily schedule, you'll see that I have notes of what the mentorship video was about.
Yeah.
And I have important tasks here. And then on this one over here, I got some ads because I was just doing some research. I have quick notes. I have quick notes here, so I don't forget stuff. See, I have my little reminders. Quick notes.
Yeah.
This one, it was kind of like a brainstorm notebook. And then I have this one. This is my personal development notebook. So this one is where I take the notes from all the stuff that I'm learning to improve myself. So I have like how-tos, how to build an Instagram audience from a webinar I watched.
Which style do you use? The weekly or the monthly planner? Or daily?
The planner that I have has monthly, weekly.
Oh, okay. It has all of them.
Yeah. No, it has monthly and daily. Sorry. It does have it has a section where you can kind of plan out or summarize your week. It's about like this one. This is the week page. Last week review, top priority for the week, weekly plan, and then notes and ideas. So this one, it's okay. I'm not a huge fan. It does kind of what I needed to do for now.
Yeah.
There's other planners that you can probably look into. One that I have that I'm gonna start using next year is the Passion Planner. So with the Lion one, you can put multiple goals. You saw that have family goals, personal goals, business goals, or whatever. Passion Planner narrows it down so you just follow one goal. And I like the layout that it has where it shows you your daily schedule split up from Monday through Sunday. So when you open up your planner, you're actually seeing your week broken down each day by the hour.
Okay.
So you actually have the full like linebacker week of your view of your week. And then it also gives you at the same time your time slots for each day. And then on the margins, it'll show you how you're tracking your habit or how you're tracking your goal for that week. And then it has notes like for you to write down anything important for that week, reminders, things like that.
Yeah.
So that one seems a little bit more. Once I have everything figured out where I can just focus on one thing for next year, then I'm gonna start using that one. The other thing that you should probably start considering is really what your purpose is. I'm asking it like it's so like
easy,
like nonchalantly, but really you have to start thinking about what you want for your family, because you have a family. You literally, even if you're not married, you have a family. You're responsible for them. So your purpose now is just your family. If you don't have to think too much about it because it's right there in front of you. The question will be what you want your legacy to be. What do you want to be able to, what do you want people to say about you when you die? That's your legacy. What are you leaving your generations, your great-grandchildren, your grandchildren, your children? What are you leaving with? What are you giving them at the end of your life?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be money. A lot of people think it's just money. What values? What examples? What character traits, what purpose driven life passions you're leaving them. It could be a business, it could be some sort of institution, or it can be the fact that their dad was always with them. It always goes back to money, because for you to be always available for your children means that you have to have some sort of income where you don't have to be there all the time.
Yeah.
That can be your goal. That can be your goal, to create a lifestyle business that pays you enough to live without taking the time away from your family. That could be your purpose, where you can start to break it down to what exactly you like to do, what exactly you need to get working on for you to be able to reach that goal.
Yeah.
And with that goal now set into motion, when you sit in front of your computer, then you're gonna know what to do during those downtimes. When I don't have work to do with my employer, I'm working on the back end of my business. If work comes up, I take care of it right away, because I have other things to do for my business. I have clients that want to talk to me. I schedule them ahead of time so that I know that I have that time put away just for them, and they don't catch me while I'm working on something else. And you have to learn how to say no. When people's urgencies become your emergencies is when you start to drift away from your goals. If people ask for you to do something for them, you have to be considerate of your time, and you have to acknowledge if that's going to help you or not. If it doesn't fit in with your plans, if there's no other way for them to reschedule, then it's a no. They will find their way. They will find their answer. They will find another savior. They always find somebody else to help them. You don't have to save anybody except your family. If it doesn't fit in with your purpose, it's a no. If it's somebody that is your family, it's a not yet or a maybe. But you have to be mindful that you have a goal to attain and you have a purpose to achieve. However, if you don't have those two things in place, then anybody can call you at any time and you'll be there for them. You'll come up as a good guy, but you're not really providing for your family in any actual positive way. Because, I mean, I've seen it before. You can be there for everybody else, but when you need them, they're not there for you.
No.
Takers will take your time. They're never gonna give it to you. Takers will take. Takers will take. And if you're a giver and you're a naive giver and you give without knowing this, when it's time for you to ask for something, you'll be surprised when they say they can't do it, or they don't show up, or they make you look bad or something. Because takers are takers. And if you're a giver, then you have to be a careful giver. You can't just give to anybody. You have to be able to say no. That's the first thing you have to be able to learn to really take care of your time. You have to be able to say no to the wrong things, not yet to the right things. If it's a true opportunity, it'll be there when you have time.
Yeah.
I've seen this happen time and time again. People sometimes have the shiny object syndrome and they want you to jump into the projects right away because they think it's a good opportunity. And it might be, but it might just be the bad time for you. If it's not the right time and it's not the right opportunity, it's a not yet. It's maybe not a definite no, but if it doesn't align with your purpose and it's not the right time, then it's a definite no. The other book that we're probably gonna read that's gonna talk about that is the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. It explains a little bit more about the quadrant, the 4 type of priorities that we should follow when it comes to our time.
Yeah.
But man, you just need to start one step at a time. Start writing things down. Things that come to your mind that you need to do, just write them down. Next thing you got to do is find a planner that you like, or maybe just start with a notebook, or maybe just print something out online that kind of has the breakdown of the days. Start to learn how to divide your time up, and really make use of the first time of your day for yourself. Don't start reacting to other people's schedules or other people's urgencies. Unless it's a true emergency because of you're a building manager, then by all means, like, don't be like, no, I can't right now. But
yeah, I was gonna tell you that. I'm like, I think the minute I wake up, it's pretty much that.
yeah, but there's different levels of priorities. There's everything's flooding, and
Oh yeah, obviously,
and
yeah.
and there's losses that you have to consider. There's other things like, my toilet's clogged, which is probably not like, maybe like a mid-level priority, something like that.
Not even. They have two.
Yeah. So there's different types of priorities. There's low priority. There's like mid priority. There's high priority. There's a way that business owners look at this. If it's a low priority, you delegate. I wasn't prepared for this, so I really should probably refresh my mind before I say anything that's wrong. But you either delegate, automate, or you what's it called? There's another word, I forget. But there's three different things that you can do with different types of priorities. High level priorities, you want to probably take care of those yourself. Anything else you can probably automate, delegate, or whatever the other one is. But yeah, as far as that goes, learn how to create value out of your time. Guard your time by learning how to say no, and prioritize your time by knowing how to do the right work that's going to move the needle, not busy work that's going to get you nowhere. And start small by writing down things that you need to do, and start to prioritize them to high priority, mid priority, low priority. And that's going to help you kind of start getting a feel of yourself and knowing a little bit more about yourself. A goal is definitely something that you want to have. If you have family or not, if you don't have family, a personal goal, where you want to be in 10 years, because 10 years are going to come whether you like it or not. So you better be doing something to show for it.
Yeah.
10 years is not that long ago. 10 years.
No, I remember when I was 21 or 20. I mean, just like it was yesterday.
Yeah. There's things that we learned the hard way, things that, we learned hopefully because somebody else told us ahead of time. So take this just like, start from where you are right now. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time to start is today. So by tonight, start writing down the things you have to do tomorrow morning, Monday. Anything that you have pending that's urgent, take care of it first thing in the morning when you go into work. Your first 2 hours before work, save them for yourself. Start practicing some gratitude thinking. Start meditating, clearing up your mind. I personally already have like a morning routine, but to figure it out at the beginning, I did have to look up a couple of examples and to see what I needed to do in my life that I could create a morning routine out of. So my personal goal is to finish the Bible in a year. I never done that before, so I added that to my morning routine. And to grow more in my spirituality, besides reading the Bible, which is kind of like a personal goal, I also added a devotional. Whatever it is that you have to figure out for your own personal growth, do it. If that's the only time where you can actually focus an hour of your time to reading the book, take that hour to actually read the book. Focus on that hour to read the book. Narrow it down to just 1 hour, like boom, take care of it. Get 25 pages down.
Yeah, I have this app that kind of like breaks, like you kind of like, kind of has like a timer on it. You can select how many pages you want to, break down the book for. You can look up the book you're reading and it'll break it down for you. Like, hey, if you read 20 pages, it'll be finished by this date. And then you can just do like little time sessions here and there. And that's helped me finish books in the past. Because if you have no, that's why I said maybe you should set like direction for us as far as how we should read. this book versus like just having everybody read at their own pace, because I feel like we're all going to be all over the place.
Yeah. Well, the point of the group is not to like coach you guys. Is
Yeah.
for us to have a mentorship time. You're gonna start learning how you learn. And if you don't do the work, if you don't really attempt, if you kind of just drift away, and you really don't put the effort into it, then you're just going to voluntarily drop out of the group, anyways.
Yeah.
But if you're really dedicated to your own personal development because you have a purpose in life,
You'll make time.
You'll make that. Yeah, exactly. If it's important for your life, you'll make time for it.
Or you're letting natural selection do its work.
Natural selection will do its job regardless.
Yeah, it's true.
And so I don't disqualify anybody. People disqualify themselves. And we'll see where we are in 10 years. I want to be able to kind of just pick up my stuff and go take a 1 month vacation, 2 month vacation, whenever I want to. So I'm working on developing that. And people don't have that purpose, that goal in life. They're just going to be waiting for Monday to come so they can clock in. That's terrible. That's a horrible way to live. Because in 10 years from now, that employer might just fire you because they're downsizing. I mean, we might have another pandemic.
I agree.
And they're gonna just call you non-essential, and then you're gonna be out, and nobody's gonna care because nobody does care.
Chances are we could go through another one. I mean, the last one was only about 10 years ago. So.
And I'm not saying that nobody actually does care, but like the government doesn't really care. They care for the economy. That's the bottom line. They care for the economy. Politicians care for whoever pays them rent, whoever lobbies for them, whoever pays their campaigns. That is political economics at work. Yeah. Politicians care for whoever pays them for their next campaign and whatever's going to get them reelected. And because that is the bottom line of government, that is what the presidency is about. The presidency is about what's going to get them reelected. Even if we're not seeing that example with this president, the strategy is always doing what's going to get them reelected.
I believe that.
If it's only writing stimulus checks to get the next vote, then that's what they're going to do. But if that's not going to change anything, nobody's going to write the checks. Nobody really cares as far as government is concerned.
You don't want that helicopter money?
Yeah, $1,200. I mean, we have to pay taxes, and that money's already owed to the government anyway.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, kind of just to wrap this up, if you don't have a goal in life that's going to really, really hit the nerve in purpose, in legacy, then you're really not living for anything. So I want to be able to be there for my children, and I want to decide when I make the money and when I don't. So there is necessity for me. I need to learn how to create value out of time, not money out of time. And with definite purpose, there will be success. You just have to have some sort of plan. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be there so that you have accountability. If you don't have a plan, you don't have self-accountability, your mind is not going to learn how to be faithful to itself. It's not going to be able to trust itself. Why should I do that when I can't even fulfill my own promises? You're not going to be able to really trust yourself, and that's how you don't have that's when you start to lack what's the opposite of confidence? That's when you start to have self-doubt. That's when you start to drift away into just becoming another nobody, basically. You don't have to be famous. I'm not talking about celebrity or anything, but we all have those relatives that already passed away and you forgot about them. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be just another memory with no impact. You want to be a memory with legacy. And if you're not aware that you can die at any point, you're not going to be living for legacy. And that is the fact. That's the truth that we have to abide by. We will die. And the only way that we will become immortal in our lives here on earth is through the legacy we leave our family.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I become timeless for my family, for my name, for my great grandchildren, to take care of generational traumas, to be done with generations of poverty, to be done with generations of self-doubt, of fixed mindset, to be done with generations of impossible thinking, to be done with generations of failure, to be done with generations of quitters. And that's going to take work. And nothing's going to happen if you don't take care of the little details of yourself. If you're just drifting away, staring at your monitor each day, then you should probably start thinking about having that purpose in your life. That's your legacy, man. The people you're saying hi to, even your mother-in-law is your legacy.
She's just came in the room.
Betty, I see you.
She's like, don't show me.
I know, right? But yeah, I think your first step, kind of just to, break down the elephant so you can eat it one bite at a time. Just start writing down the things you need to do. Have no more than 3 important tasks that you want to tackle tomorrow. And start brainstorming of ways that you can actually impact your purpose, your legacy. And don't try to conquer the world in one day. It's going to take time. But if you don't start to train yourself to do it, you're never going to do it. So get a piece of paper, write down what you need to do tomorrow. Start figuring out what your routine in the morning is going to be to take care of yourself, and go from there. Start working your next step. The next meeting that we have, you can probably, bring that up to see where you're at, to see what you can do to improve, to see what you should do for the week. Or you can have another call. We can schedule some other time tomorrow, whenever you want to start. Schedule like a one-on-one, and we can just get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's do it. Why not? That's what we're here for.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
So I'm gonna let you go because it's almost 9.
Yeah.
I need to go rub my wife's belly.
Oh, I had one last question. Hey, do you have any books that you recommend for like startup business, like when you're first starting a business? Like, do you have any books that you recommend that helped you out? Like the fundamentals of it.
The real fundamental of starting your business is really having the mindset. The mindset is the most important part. The mindset, it's not just about the need and wanting how to run the business. It's about knowing why you want to do what you're doing and knowing what to expect. There's a book that I actually bought not too long ago that I have right here. It's a good starter book to get you going on like a bird's eye view. And it's this one. You can probably Google it. I got it free plus shipping, so you can probably find it yourself that way.
The entrepreneur. Oh, roller coaster. Okay.
Yeah, it's by the same guy, Darren Hardy, that wrote the it's a habit book. Oh my God, Compound Effect, the Compound Effect, which I also read. I think you can get both of them zero plus shipping. You're basically paying $8 for each book.
On Amazon?
No, just Google it. It's not on Amazon. It's on his webpage or something. There's a specific. Just Google it. Just free the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
And the other one is man, I just told you and I forgot about it. It's The Compound Effect.
The Compound Effect. Yeah.
Yeah, they're easy reads. You're not gonna get stuck trying to figure out what he's trying to say. That should get you going, kind of figuring out where you need to go next, but also what to expect from going at it. And the one thing that I need to tell you first and foremost is that you will fail a lot of times because that's part of the process.
I'm sure.
But unless you quit, it won't be a failure. So, well, whatever it is that you want to start doing, you're gonna mess up, and that is absolutely part of the process. Messing up
And learning from it.
Learning from it is the key. Knowing that you can figure it out is also important. But yeah, and being patient. My first business, when I started doing tax preparation, to be honest, I didn't see positive margins until my third year in business.
Oh, really?
And it was like low margins. Now I'm going on my 5th year, and only because I've been buying educational courses, I'm positive now 4 figures after all my expenses and all that stuff. Now I'm starting to see the results. It's mostly because of the nature of the business. It's mostly referral business, and that takes a while. And it's also because it's seasonal.
Yeah.
Any type of business, it's always going to take time for it to produce any true profit. It's going to take even longer for you to be able to live off of it. And there's going to be a whole process to go through. If you don't want to suffer like the businesses that suffered during this pandemic, you better have 6 months of expenses saved in your business account at all times. And to get to that point, it's going to be difficult, especially if you're starting a business from scratch. But it's necessary for your business to last. And business doesn't have, it's not going to die unless it goes bankrupt. You're gonna be able to pass that down to your generations or sell it. So it's not like it's gonna die. It does need to have strong fundamentals, but you won't be able to see the strong fundamentals unless you have a strong mindset, very disciplined behavior yourself. If you're gonna go at it 100% and get rid of all earned income, then it will be tougher, and you will become type of like survival mode, but you will figure it out, and you will mess up quicker than usual, and you will feel like there's no end to the failures, but that's because you're failing faster. But the faster you fail, the faster you'll reach success. That's one of the advantages of starting 100% to your business and having no other outside income. It will accelerate your necessity to the point where you're going to start seeing success faster. It will be a little irresponsible if you're the only source of income, if you have no savings. So I wouldn't advise you to do that.
No.
But that leap of faith mentality is usually what triggers your fight or flight adrenaline response, and it's what's going to help you get there faster if you understand that you're going to fail faster.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you just have to do it.
No, yeah.
You just have to do it. Figure out if you're gonna like it or not. Do it, and make decisions fast and change your mind slowly. But you just have to do it. You have to be decisive.
Yeah.
You have to be decisive, patient, and then you have to be resourceful. And it's all about mindset. That's all I'm talking about. It's mindset. Most of us in this group are starting. We're not at the point where we can just say we made it. We're on the grind level for the most part. But even to get to the grind level, you first have to build it. You have to build the base for you to start to grind. So, I mean, it's just a matter of fact of just getting to do it. If you don't have time, you have to find the time before work or after work. Don't just go home and unplug your brain, because from the time you get home to the time you have to go to sleep, you have about 6 or 7 hours that you can be using to your advantage, to get that unfair advantage on everybody else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anything else before we close this up?
No, that was it. I just want to see what your recommendations were. Thank you. I'm gonna check those books out. Or the first one I read.
If you get both of them, you probably just spend $16, which is a pretty good deal. You do have to sign up to like their emails and stuff. But I have to tell you, Darren Hardy has a very good morning mentorship video. It's called Darren Daily. And I mean, he's not pushy or anything, but he does have other mentorship programs you obviously pay for. But he still gives you like a tremendous amount of value because he is the founder or co-founder of Success Magazine, and he has a real estate business. So it's not like he's doing this to make a living.
He doesn't need it. Yeah.
He doesn't need it. He's just providing value, like a tremendous amount of value to his subscribers. If you do want to hire him, apparently he costs $65,000 for a consultation. So talk about creating value out of time. One consultation is already enough than what we need to live right now.
Yeah.
But that's a good starting point. His book is very bird's eye view. He doesn't go into any details, but it tells you basically the 5 things that you need to start focusing on if you want to start your own business. And then you go from there. You'll start to look into those 5 things, and then you'll start to look up things that you need according to those 5 things. I think it's 5 or 6. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, you just have to start doing it. You don't want to commit yourself to something you don't like, so you have to do it to see if you like it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, yeah, I mean that spoke for way too long. I'm gonna start recording. I'm not gonna end it, but I'm gonna stop the recording now.
Oh yeah.